everyone, and welcome back to Mach 1 Mindset. Today we're diving into Silver Patrol Learn to Lead 9.8 Character Formation. Now before we get started, please make sure you like, subscribe, and of course, comment down below if you have any questions. Additionally, this is from Learn to Lead Volume 3, pages 30 to 35, so feel free to follow along and let's get into it. Character does not appear by accident. It is formed, tested, and reinforced over time. That is the central idea behind character education. For our purposes, character education is any program designed to shape directly and systematically the behavior of young people, but the definition is incomplete unless we add two critical requirements. Character education must promote non-relativistic values, meaning values that are not just personal preferences, and must lead to good habits and responsible citizenship. If everything else is relative, then character education collapses into opinion. If habits are not formed, then values remain abstract. For leaders, especially cadet officers, the challenge is very real. How do you shape character in people you do not directly supervise every moment? How do you influence junior members indirectly? Through NCOs and first-line supervision. To answer that, we need to first look at two major approaches to character education: behaviorism and developmentism. Behaviorism assumes that if you control behavior, you could shape character. Behaviorism is the belief that leaders can systematically influence behavior through rewards and punishments. Follow the rules, you earn a reward. Break the rules and you face a consequence. Examples are everywhere. Students who avoid trouble earn privileges. Cadets receive merits for good performance and demerits for misconduct. Even adult life includes behaviorist systems like fines, promotions, and performance evaluations. At first glance, it may seem very effective. People respond to incentives, but there are some serious weaknesses. First, rewards are very hard to justify. Why should someone earn a prize for simply doing what is expected? Second, real life does not operate on a point system. You will not always be rewarded for honesty or integrity. People behave ethically only when incentives exist. Their character collapses the moment the incentives disappear. Most importantly, behaviorism fails to address moral reasoning. One theorist puts it bluntly: punishment does nothing to develop concern for others. It only teaches people how to avoid getting caught. Another behaviorist tool is modeling, it also called leadership by example. Leaders display valued behavior and the followers imitate it. This is foundational in cadet programs and military culture. Modeling works better than rewards and punishments, but is not very foolproof. No leader is perfect. With young people, influence depends heavily on credibility. If the role model lacks rapport or authenticity, the example fails. The weakest behaviorist method is sermonizing. Long lectures filled with moral preaching rarely shape behaviors. Teenagers are experts at tuning them out. Behaviorism can manage conduct, but it struggles to create conviction. That leads to a deeper approach. Developmentalism focuses on how people mature morally over time. Instead of asking, how do we control behavior, developmentalists ask, how do people grow in moral understanding? This approach recognizes that individuals develop the capacity for independent moral reasoning gradually. Teenagers in particular wrestle with identity. Who am I? What do I believe? What kind of person will I become? Developmentalists argue that character education should help young people choose values consciously, internalize them, and live consistently with them through repeated choices. This is why societies grant graduated privileges. We expect more responsibility as maturity increases. Standards rise with age, not because rules just change, but because moral capacity develops. Leadership without this awareness becomes either authoritarian or naive. To understand developmentalism more clearly, we turn to Lawrence Kohlberg. Kohlberg proposed that people move through 6 stages of moral development, in order without skipping stages. Stage 1 is obedience and punishment. Right and wrong are about avoiding punishment. Stage 2 is individualism. Moral reasoning becomes transactional. What do I gain? Stage 3 is interpersonal relations. People want approval. They follow rules to be liked and accepted. Stage 4 is social order. Right and wrong are defined by laws and rules. Most adults operate here. Stage 5 is the social contract stage. Individuals value rights, democracy, and justice above the written law. They are willing to challenge unjust laws. Stage 6 involves universal and moral principles, where conscience overrides external pressure. Very few people consistently reach this level, and Kohlberg later removed it from a formal scoring. The key idea is this: moral intelligence matures. Humans are capable of reasoning about injustice, rights, and duty in increasingly complex ways. Kohlberg believes character education works best when leaders help people move to the next stage, not by lecturing, but by challenging their reasoning. No sermons, no manipulation, no artificial rewards. Instead, leaders use guided discussion. They challenge assumptions, ask followers to explain another perspective, Force them to predict consequences, identify rights, virtues, temptations, and risk, ask what-if questions, and expose weak logic. The goal is not agreement. The goal is growth. Critics point out a serious flaw. Kohlberg measures how people think, not how they act. Someone may reason brilliantly about ethics and still behave poorly. This criticism is valid, but developmentalism still offers leaders a powerful insight. As responsibility and authority increase, ethical decisions become more complex. Values conflict, rules are incomplete, wisdom matters. Character education is not about manufacturing virtue. It is about cultivation and moral maturity. Behaviorism can control behavior. Developmentalism can shape judgment. Strong leaders understand both, but rely on development, not manipulation. Ethical leadership requires courage, reflection, and consistency. It requires leaders to take moral questions seriously and help others do the same. As responsibility increases, so does the need for wisdom. That may be the greatest challenge and the greatest opportunity for any leader.